Nate, as is what he goes by. He is a DMS 2.0 student. You guys have probably all seen him before. Pretty active in groups and pretty active, obviously, with his agency. After enrolling in DMS 2.0, well, really after finishing DMS 2.0, in his first 6 months, he was able to generate $100,000 for his agency. He's projecting about 250 for his first full year in business, which is really great. But that being said, I wanted him to come on and talk to you guys about a few things. First, what he's doing or what he did to really kind of map out his agency. So what services he focused on, how he's providing and fulfilling those services for clients. Obviously, talking about how he's generating clients, some of the methodology that he's using to get new business for his agency that built him up to 100 grand. You guys are going to hear him talk about go high level and some of the revenue opportunities, especially some of the lower hanging fruit, which is why Nate has been able to really keep a steady recurring income coming in, because he went after some of the low hanging fruit and was able to provide a service. That's why I always tell people, you guys have heard me say you don't want to sell packages for less than 1,500. And that is the case in the majority of circumstances, and especially if you're building an agency exactly how I taught you to do it. But let's say you offer a lower tier service. For example, like social media content management. That job requires hardly any effort whatsoever. You can charge $300 to $500 per client per month and just post to their social media accounts. Now, granted, we all know that doesn't really do much, but if those businesses are going to go out there and pay for it anyways, you might as well be the one who they're going to pay to do it. And not saying that's what Nate did, but just a little bit of example. So I'm going to let Nate take it over from here. If you guys need me, just put questions in the chat. I'm going to be working on other things while Nate goes through it. I'll be listening in, but Nate's pretty much going to run the show today, and you guys can ask questions from him. Let me see if I can make you an admin real quick. Haha. All right. I'm making you a host. So now you can actually, you can unmute people on the right-hand side. If you actually click chat at the bottom on your screen, and also click participants. So it should pop up on the right-hand side in 2 windows on the right of the video. You see what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. Participants.
Yep, you click that, and that'll allow you to add people in if they're coming in. And if you have somebody that wants to ask a question as you're going through it, you can just unmute them and then they can ask a question. Guys, I would say try to, unless it's like a super important question specifically about what he's going through, try to hold your questions to the end. It just makes it easier to go through all the questions at one time so he doesn't have to stop, because he does have a lot of information to give you guys. But if it's something that's just like super important, it needs to be discussed like right then and there. And it's not like, how do you land clients? Because that's like the most commonly asked question. But if it's super important, feel free to ask a question. But again, try to hold your questions till the end. Other than that, I'm going to let Nate take it over, and you can go ahead and share your screen and start your thing.
Awesome. Thanks, Jordan. Thanks, guys, for being here. I'm super excited to just show you this. I'm going to end up just throwing a lot of stuff at you guys, as far as just opening the door for some things that have worked, showing you my system, fulfillment, some of the stuff that Jordan mentioned, and we're just going to dive right in. So let me share my screen here, go presenter mode. All right, cool. So like Jordan said, my name is Nate Tilley. In the past 6 months, or let me admit Charlton here, boom. In the past 6 months, or the first 6 months really of starting my agency, which is right when I finished DMS 2.0, I've been able to land $100,000 worth of clients and services sold for my agency, with just me and 1 full-time employee and a couple of VAs that we contract here and there. So first thing about, okay, here we go. Let me move you guys over here. So today's agenda, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my story, why I'm so into lead generation as almost a niche, really. And then I'm going to show you ways to get agency clients, organic ways that I've used, and also paid ad strategies that I've used, what I actually prefer, and then how to nurture, fulfill, and close these clients, these prospects as they come in, and then how to automate the whole thing, refine it, and scale it. So Like Jordan said, drop your questions in the chat. I'm going to go over some things. I'm just going to kind of touch over because as we all know that there's a lot of different strategies involved and I don't do all of them. Like I've found a couple that work really well for me and I focus on that. I don't have every single different pillar dialed in, but if you guys have questions about something specific, just drop it in the chat and I will get to it when I have a second here. All right, so I think it's really important that you guys know a tiny bit about me, why my passion is what it is, why I love lead generation, and just helping businesses as a whole. So this picture over here, this is me when I was about 17 years old, a little hood rat kid skateboarding and hanging out with the bad crowd. That's dirty money. That's not good business money. I really had some rough times in my life, school hard knocks, and yeah, it had to turn it around. I had some close calls with death, some run-ins with the law, and just some overall rock bottoms that I found in my life, and that's what drove me to want to start my own business. And I think this is important for you guys to know because if you're just getting into this business because you want to make money, it's probably going to be pretty short-lived. Like that passion, that story, that's what fuels this whole entire thing for me. And so, like I said, this picture is me when I made my first actual 100K at 17. And then over here is a couple years after that when I kind of turned my act around and started getting into the business world. About that time is when I actually started working for a car dealership in my home, 45 minutes from my hometown. And I started in the detail pit. When I was in the detail pit, it gave me the opportunity to just listen to headphones all day, every day. I got marketed with a Ty Lopez course, $28, bought it. It was the most fluffy course I've ever seen. It just told you, it kind of fluffed up the whole industry. It didn't teach you how to do anything specifically. And it wasn't much for me. It didn't really help me out much. But what it did do is it showed me that this stuff really works, that people are really making money off of it. And then from there, I started to do my own searching. I ended up finding Jordan Steen's YouTube channel, and like I said in the first interview I did, I just noticed right away that he was a nerd about it. Like he wasn't skimming over and saying go close a client, figure out fulfillment later. He was really showing the software components it took, the strategies, the Excel sheets, the boring stuff that's the meat and potatoes of making this work. So for 8 hours plus a day, I would literally just listen to Steen's free content on YouTube. And I did that for probably almost a year, to a year and a half before I even contacted him or bought any of his paid stuff or even joined a group. So during that time, I really started to, get opportunities at other local clients and just do a lot of free trials, like an auto body shop, a martial arts gym, and the car dealership I worked for. They promoted me to sales, and I hated selling cars. It was like the worst lead generation strategies, old outdated methods. They want you to work with your local group and everything like that, and I just wasn't about it. So I asked the owner of the dealership if I could start running some ads, and he gave me $100 to run a lead generation campaign. I ran it for the dealership. We got like 10 to 12 leads, and I was the one that was calling those leads, and I ended up closing 2 of them on a car. And from then on, the dealership just decided like, hey, you're the ads guy now. $500 a month. Keep spending, keep closing deals. You make a commission on the deals. So I wasn't really in the agency space traditionally. I actually worked for this dealership and provided that service. Over the course of about 9 months with them, helped them sell about 40 cars. And like, that's kind of where it took off. I had all these case studies and I wanted to start my own business. And then come June of 2020, everybody was getting laid off. Car sales were slow. And so my boss at the time laid me off. It was kind of a blessing in disguise because that next day, a couple days later, I started my LLC and just started to go to work and package up this lead generation service that I started. So go to the next slide here. So basically, like, the first thing I had to do in this whole process is I had to get really good at what I what I did. So it started for me with automotive, but I still had friends like that had a gym, and I still would run lead generation for them. And I was working at the dealership, and I had all of these different leads coming in, and I had no way to organize them. So I would literally get a lead form on Facebook. I would download the Excel sheet, and then I would manually call them on my phone, manually send them an email, and then keep following up with them manually. It was a terrible nightmare process, and that's what I really started to look for, a software that was able to handle that, and that's where Go High Level comes in, and we'll get into that later a little bit more. But I know that Jordan's been telling you guys a lot about it, so I'm sure it's not new to you guys. But at the time, this was back in before it was back in 2019 when I actually found the platform towards the middle of it, and it was revolutionary, and I didn't even know what I had at the time. So I started to really automate the car dealership processes through there. And so that allowed me to not only have lead generation, but also lead nurturing. So where I can get a lead in and automatically send them a text, automatically send them an email, automatically drop them a ringless voicemail. And this system in its whole was what I decided that I wanted to be specialized in. So when you talk about being a specialist, you can become a specialist in a niche, which is what most people talk about. Pick a niche, whatever it's going to be. But I personally believe you can also be a specialist just by the service that you provide. So for me, I sought out to become a lead generation specialist in any industry that I could find. So I pretty much would take on like almost any client that I could find at a lower ticket, and offer them this lead generation system to see if it would work. And although that can quickly turn into a race to the bottom, and I was far undercharging, it allowed me to become very specialized and get super experienced in what I was doing. Um, One huge thing about getting good at what you do is like, don't rush to the market without having like a system in place or something you're really good at, or having your fulfillment on lock. Like I see too many
Amen.
agencies.
Amen. 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 I just want to say amen.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah.
hear that part.
Yeah, I see so many agencies. I work with a ton of different agencies right now, and I see so many of them that just try to rush to the market. How can I get my first client? And it's like, well, can you run an ad campaign? Can you, you know, it doesn't have to just be ads, guys. Like you can be a specialist at copywriting, you can be a specialist at graphic design, you can be a specialist at really anything, and even offer those services to an agency to start and build case studies and kind of do like the freelancer thing. Like I think too many people try to start the overall agency right away. And I mean it's work. Like it's technical, complicated work. And I learned that from Jordan is like, it's not just, yeah, we take this client and then we just throw some stuff up and it's done. Like there's systems and processes in place for this whole thing. So make sure you have something packaged up and ready before you take it to the market, and something you're at least kind of good at. So, and Jordan, by the way, I'm not seeing like how the chat pops up. So if you can see the chat, I see when it brings people in, but
So if it does it not have like on the bottom of your screen chat,
oh
like
yeah, there we go.
yeah, click that, it'll open up a little window for you.
Okay, there we go. Cool, cool,
I don't think anybody's asked anything yet, but that should be it.
cool. So we'll put you guys over there, shrink this down a little bit, and we'll keep rocking. All right. So in this process of getting good at what I did, I didn't really cut corners. I built out my SOPs and I made it replicatable. As I learned, I would take Loom videos of me doing things and go back to them and learn from my learning, continue to learn from other people. This is an ongoing process. Really start to dial in your results, your fulfillment, and your processes. Like I said, take free trial clients to build results. Like I was huge on free trials, but not just with anybody. Like if it's like a big established business, don't say, hey, I'll run your ads for free for a testimonial, because they're gonna say, no, I don't want you to, I don't want you to play with my money. Like that's not a good proposition. But when you have a friend or a relative or somebody that you know, or somebody, a friend of somebody that you know that has a business that is maybe smaller, then you can usually propose to them some kind of service, some kind of offer, some kind of, no risk to them, in exchange for a case study or testimonial. And this will allow you to get more comfortable with what you do, because a lot of this, guys, works really, really well. But and probably all of us know what to do. Like, seriously, like, it's not as complicated as we like to make it. But the thing is before, without getting out there and getting that experience, you're not going to be that comfortable with what you do, and you're going to be undercharging, undervaluing, and not really understanding some different bottlenecks that'll come up in your service. So we'll keep going on that, and I'll tell you guys a little bit more about what I mean with that. uh, so I also have say yes to everyone, only at first. Like, this is a recipe for absolute disaster long term, and this is the exact reason why I am totally revamping my entire agency right now, because I said yes to everyone for a little bit too long. But that's why I got really good at what I do. And that's why I've been able to crush all these different industries with my lead generation system and paid ads, because I was just like saying yes to people, charging them whatever, and just getting the opportunity to run some ads for them. And I'll be completely honest, like, it didn't always work out. And that was where I got into some binds where I'd have to, like, e-commerce was a serious learning curve coming from lead gen. And some coaches, they're not fit to be coaches, and their ads, the infrastructure is not there. So you have to make sure that you are working with the right type of clients to actually be able to get them results. And if they don't have a good offer, a good sales system that's already working, if they're not going to call the leads that you generate, then you just have to kind of skip over them. So that's phase one: get good at what you do. Now we're going to go into, when you're good at what you do, what can you do with that, and how can you grow that? So it really breaks down into two different sectors, and that's organic, your unpaid strategies that you guys can do right now without any budget, or you have your paid strategies. These are extremely scalable, fuel to the fire, and it's best when you're already running some organic, you're already getting clients through some of these other methods. So for organic, so you guys will notice I have a couple of these highlighted. These are the only ones that I've even used. Like I said, 6 figures in 6 months. I haven't even touched cold outreach. I don't even know what a cold email script looks like yet. I'll probably start it. I mean, I definitely intend to, but so far I'm at a place in my business where I haven't really needed to. So you can find the outreach method and the acquisition method that works well for you in your niche, in your service, and in your offering, and then kind of scale off that and add these other things later.
Which is what I always tell you guys. There's no one way. All the methods work. You need to find what you work best with, whether that is paid ads or cold outreach or networking or organic Facebook groups or whatever. It's just up to you. You have to be the one to recognize what you're going to be best at. And then from there, do it, execute it. That's all. It's as simple as that for finding clients.
Yep, absolutely. And so basically the organic strategies, I just broke it down into what I could think of, but I'm sure you guys could name off more than this easily. So I mean, we have our cold outreach, anything cold email, cold call, cold DM, all that stuff. Then we got networking and referrals. This is one of my very much preferred methods when you're first starting out, especially if you're a bit extroverted or you're just good with people in general. And then we have our Facebook super organic. This is a super interesting method. I'm super excited to show you guys how this works. I have just tapped into this barely. I'm not really systemized with it. I've barely even touched the brink of it, and I've already made thousands off of just what I'm going to show you in the future. So we'll get into that. You guys have all seen people crushing it at this, and you may have not even noticed it. Paid strategies, fuel to the fire. You got your Facebook and Instagram social ads. I'm going to show you guys some agency ads you can run. And then you've got your PPC, like local search, those, and display, YouTube ads, stuff like that. And then you got some other paid platforms as well that you can run ads on. I haven't tapped into any of these really. So far, I've just been on social ads. All right, so phase one, get good at what you do. Phase two, implement organic. So a couple different ways of organic ways to get clients. Like I said, these are the ones that I've mainly used. I'll talk about these briefly, but I haven't even implemented them yet in my own agency. So you've got your cold outreach. You guys all know cold calling, email, social outreach. I think these can work really well, especially cold social outreach on like DM, LinkedIn, all that. I think that's a great method I would love to get into, or maybe hire a VA to handle for me. Automated cold outreach, I did that separate because I do believe it's a different thing. It's kind of an amplifier of your existing cold outreach. And so when you have your automated cold outreach, you're going to get a list, and you can get them from a couple different places. The newest source that I found that works really well is Lead Enforce. And the reason that I really like it is because you can take Facebook groups and you can scrape different Facebook groups off of Facebook and then upload them back to Facebook as a custom audience. So it's really easy for finding like super niche down clients. Like I'm in the automotive space, so I would go and find a North American Auto Dealers Association and then take the group, upload the link into Lead Enforce, and then you can upload a couple at a time as long as it's a public group, and then it's gonna scrape for emails, phone numbers, anything that it can find. So then I can re-upload that as a CSV customer list to Facebook. Um, and then run ads to them. You can also take that same list and you can add them to an email list or a ringless voicemail campaign, but I don't prefer this. I really like warmer outreach for that kind of thing. I like to have a list that has opted in when I'm sending things out. I'm not huge on the bulk emails and texts, but if you guys know Go High Level whatsoever, Jordan's been talking a lot about it. You can get ringless voicemails, SMS and text outreach, and automatic email drip campaigns going super, super easy, and have them running to a list super, super easily. LinkedIn automated outreach. I don't know anything about this, but a lot of people talk about it and they say it's awesome. So check that out if that works for you. I've heard it's like a really good way to get B2B leads, and I've been interested to implement it myself. Finally, my favorite method and my preferred method is networking and referrals. So like this is overall to me the best way when you're first starting, because if you just can walk in somewhere and make a friend, if you're, like I said, a little bit more extroverted or just like people and just have a lot of friends or just network in your community a lot, know a lot of people, then this can work really well when you just tell your friends what you're doing. Just tell people, hey, I started this business. I help other businesses grow, or I do little whatever you do. Like the biggest thing I think is to niche into something that you do for a specific type of person, like your specific audience, or just like niche the service down. Like, so I do SEO. I implement a tiny piece of code on your website that allows your search results to go up to the front page of Google. Something like, I don't know anything about that. I do lead gen, but I'm saying it doesn't have to just be ads. It doesn't have to just be, paid acquisition. It can be so many different services, so many different niches. And then you just start to find people in your local network that would be relevant to that. And then be good at what you do. This is where networking and referrals, when you're good at what you do, you will just grow this so much. You won't even need to do. And this is why I don't really have these things implemented, because I have so much momentum going from all my clients and all the networking I've done, that it's just like I literally have to turn people down because it's just like so many. So it's super nice when you can get that to really catch. People know you're good and they rely on you. Works really well, especially if you have a little bit of a referral bonus that you talk to them about. And I like to implement that too. So every time they bring me a client, I pay them a bonus. And then we have our Facebook organic or Facebook super organic. Some people call this like the perfect stranger method, I've heard it called. And some other things people have said called it too. People have made courses on this too. It works really well. I've barely even scratched the surface on this. I've just gotten into it, and I'm super super stoked with the results that I've already seen. And I want to get better at this, but like I said, I just barely even broke into it, and I'm already closing deals. So this one's going to be super niche focused in order for it to really excel. You're going to post a lot of extreme value, and then you create your communities like groups, lists, things like that through Facebook organic. So number one method I've used, networking. Like I said, I touched on it a little bit already. I think the biggest thing with networking is just be genuine. Like, just if you have a solution, if you have a service that helps people, which you should if you're trying to sell anything, if it genuinely doesn't help them, you probably just shouldn't even try to sell it. Like that's kind of the basics. So um, a really good book that has helped me with that. I'm sure you guys have all read it. I hope so. If you haven't, you should go read it, listen to it, download it, buy it, whatever. How to Win Friends and Influence People. This book really teaches you how to genuinely be interested in people in not a gimmicky way, but just to really pour into them and show them you're interested. And by doing that and being problem orientated, like how can you solve their problems? People really like you. People can tell when it's authentic, and people want to support you and they want to work with you then. Of course, always looking like what is your service, what problem can your service or product solve? So instead of always asking like what can I get, what can I get, what can I get, it's like what can I give? Like what are people struggling? And so for me, when I was working at a car dealership and I had to download the leads, text them myself, email them and call them myself, I was like, man, if I could just get a way for this to be automated, if I could just get a way to have this all in one place, if I could just figure this out, how to do this would be a huge value. And that's what I found Go High Level, and it allowed me to start automating a lot of that. And that's where my service was really born. So when you're networking, you got to follow up and you got to follow through. So you might have your aunt that runs a hair salon or whatever random business you're first just trying to strike up some business with, and they're like, yeah, we want to do something, but they're not just going to open up their business to you right away, because they're probably not going to trust you as much, because you're going to be honest with them and tell them you're just starting out. So like you do have to follow up, you do have to like, kind of sell them on it. And a lot of times it's not, you don't have that experience backing you quite yet. So you really got to follow up and then follow through. So, maybe it's not that you're going to be running ads for them, but you just see that they're having a problem with something that you know about. So you just write some tips out for them. That's where the follow through comes in. Give them the tips, give them the value, call them when you say you're going to. This really is the first step of fulfillment that's super important. We talked a little bit about the free trial, equals a testimonial. It's a win-win. If your service is ready to go to the market, just in my opinion, now, like I would never do a free trial, because I just know how much value my service provides, and it's a waste of time at this point. But when I was just starting out with friends, this was like literally the training ground for me, where I really got to learn what worked and what didn't. And I was actually pretty lucky when I did do it and I didn't have anything backfire, but it could have. And so you got to set yourself up for that well, manage expectations, and not promise you're going to get them 15 closings in the first month off $100. More like, hey, the deliverable at first should just be your service and not the results that it could provide. That should be an add on of your service. So at first, the deliverable of your free trial is, hey, we're going to set up some ads for you, or we're going to help you get your Google listing up by doing XYZ. That's the deliverable. That's the expectation you set. And then the results that you get after that are a bonus to you and the client. That's super important to distinguish, because if you focus so much on the results, you just get in these positions where there's so much pressure on you. And a lot of times, like if you're anything like me, and you like to be creative, when that pressure's there, it takes that creative edge off. So it's just something that I've seen with managing expectations. And then like, okay, referrals are huge. Like your networking clients that come up are going to be your best clients ever, and you're going to be helping amplify their business, and then they're going to become referral generators for you. So This is just an example. This happened 2 days ago, or yeah, 2 days ago, where this is one of my previous clients. This is another one of my previous clients in my local hometown. I've never met this lady before. She owns a flooring company, and I have an appointment with her tomorrow. And I mean, she's already pre-sold. These are two of her friends that are just commenting, that are already saying like, Nate's the best, hit him up. She messaged me. I mean, there's no easier deal to close than when a prospect messages you first. So, and they already trust you. So if you guys have any questions on anything here, just drop them in the chat. I'm watching it, and I don't mind at any point. All right, so that was organic method number one, just networking. And now we're going to get into organic method number two that I've used, and that's going to be our Facebook organic. So like I said, I just started tapping into this. I've probably, like, I'm not the best at this. I'm not killing it like as much as some people. There's so much more potential than I realized in this. I just started to kind of flirt with it a little bit, try it out, and I've already closed 3 different clients just directly off of stuff like this. I mean, 3 bigger clients and then a lot of smaller stuff as well. So, this method, it just leverages your Facebook profile and organic to its core. You basically delete all your friends and you start adding strangers that are relevant to your niche. And then you post valuable content and, kind of like bait, essentially, ethical bait to get them to catch, and you start to reel them in, essentially, if you follow that analogy. So, these are 2 examples of posts that I've used. One of them, it kind of created some intrigue, and this is actually it's a true story of a client that we had that I didn't hear from in weeks. Actually, it was almost a month. Hadn't heard from him. We were responding, we were messaging him, following up, and it turned out we kind of broke his business because it was around Christmas time, and we had a small ad budget, and our retargeting was so effective that we were able to get him like 9.5 ROAS on $500. And so he had so many orders and fulfillment that he had to do that he just literally couldn't even do anything. He asked us to stop the ads. That was when he finally responded to me because it was working so well. So I made a post about that, and then I made another post about like a case study, and both of these drew in people into my inbox. I add a lot of business owners. I know a lot of business owners, and I at first I didn't really niche this down. I was just gonna go broad business owners, and then I realized that I think that it would be a lot more effective by using niche focused, so I could add a specific type of client and post specific things. These are some of my story posts too. If you run ads and if your service presents results, then just post the results. It's fairly simple. Like, really, like, just post good results. These are long form solar leads and awesome results. So I just post those when I see them, when I check with them on my team. And that's super easy to post. Always getting clients through that. Let me move this. Make it small. Actually, I'll open it back up later. All right, so this is when I realized that it would probably make more sense to do a little bit niche focused, a little bit more niche focused. That's when I honed into the car dealership profile optimization. For you guys' steps to set up this Facebook organic, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to optimize your social profiles just like this. So let me move me like right here. So the first thing I did was I changed the cover photo to say a guarantee that I know I can deliver on. And then I'm really just encouraging them to click on the photo. Once they click on the photo, it opens up into a link that sends them to my landing page that tells them about my guarantee, our system, and then they can book a call with me. I've also got this on my cover art page in the profile, just saying like what we provide. And then I post things that are specific to dealership owners. Now with this method, you got to be adding your niche specific people as your friend on Facebook. And then once they see the post, if they like it, if they engage it, the idea is to get them to click on your profile. They go here, they see what you do, and now you're like the perfect stranger to them. And they're like, oh my gosh, this guy has all the solutions to my problems. This is exactly what I need. So you optimize your social profiles, change your bio to your guarantee, get a landing page going. If you guys use Go High Level, all of this can be done right through there. Sign up at Jordan's link. Um, yeah, it's. I mean, you could set all this up through there. I had a VA or graphic designer do these for me. I can't stand making graphics, so it was fairly simple. Honestly, for me, I'm not like I'm not gonna lie. I This isn't my favorite. Like I like to post whatever I want, and I don't really like to always have to have that business-esque to it. So personally, like I just did this and tried it out and it got me some clients and I was like, all right, cool, this works. And I'm back to my paid as my focus. It's a little bit more scalable. But this automated, I'll show you guys some posts here in a second that have landed clients. And through just automating this process, you can really do some damage in your niche with the service that you provide. So you're going to add friends, and then you're going to comment in the groups and post in the groups that are relevant to your niche. So for me, post in dealerships, dealership groups, and say, hey, any dealerships looking for credit apps? I have credit apps and I can't get them financed, and then they respond, and then I message them from there. And then just the goal is always to book a call with them. Posting with purpose and providing value, posting case studies, social proof, offers, personal stories that relate, training videos, lead magnets. I mean, we've all seen guys that are doing this and gals that are doing this. So I don't think, you have to bring your style to it. If you're trying to just go there and copy what everyone else is doing, it might not work. Yeah, I'll work with, yeah, mostly used car dealers for my system, but I will also do new car dealers. It's just a different strategy for sure. And then also the subprime financiers as well. So anybody that engages with your post, message them, say, hey, saw you, liked this. I actually have this free value guide. It's all about being specialized in your niche and knowing what they want. But I mean, if somebody likes this post and then I message them and I'm like, hey, I actually made a free training that shows exactly how I got these results for a dealership. Would you like it? And you get that positive response. Yeah, I would. Cool. Here's the link. And then in that, it can be a funnel that just sends them to book a call. If you have Go High Level, all this is automated. So it's, this is just a flywheel method to close clients straight through your Facebook profile. And once you get really slick with this and you have the process built out, you can use a VA to automate it. Now you have to be careful here because if you're leveraging your personal profile and you have like VAs logging into it and stuff like that, you can easily get banned from Facebook. So I know that, like, I haven't personally done this, but I know that people that do, they'll use a trying to think of what it's called. It like blocks your IP address. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. I'm sure somebody could drop it in the chat knows what I'm talking. Yeah, VPN. People will use a VPN, or there's a couple other like tools specifically made for this. But yeah, I haven't done this yet. I just have seen the effectiveness of this just by barely tapping into it. And I think that if you really systemized it and scaled it, it would just be huge. So I started to track, test, and analyze and optimize on this sheet that I got here. And this is going to be a freebie that I give to you guys to be able to track your own super organic Facebook stuff here. So um, basically, you just keep track of the type of content you post on the different day, the number of friends you added, number of times you posted, how many people messaged you, or how many people you messaged, rather, post engagements if you track them, how many posts in your groups, how many comments in your groups, and then how many sales calls you're taking off this. And you guys will see that I've closed deals off of these posts. And you can get a lot more detailed with this. You can have links to the posts, you can have, content calendar built out, and you can have like all your post templates in here. So if you have a VA doing this, it can all be done in here basically. And then you just have them go into your profile and build all this out. So this is super helpful. You could post like links to, the posts that got results, analyze the data, and continue to rock on this. So I'm going to give you guys this link in the chat, and you could just make a copy of this for yourself and then build it out. I would say like get some post templates. You can find them in a number of places, and then just start dropping links here so you don't always have to have the motivation or have the inspiration day to day to come up with those, but you can actually pre-schedule them and post them ahead of time. Jump back over here. Let me just drop. I'll probably have to drop that link in the chat after I present. It doesn't look like it's gonna let me just copy and paste it. Okay, so we're going to the next page here. This is just a blurb of a bunch of results that I've got. These are different posts and engagements that have landed me clients. So like I said, posting my results on my story, this has been just like such a no-brainer. This always gets agency owners and different people hitting me up, and business owners. This one was one that worked really well. This was a straight up offer. I just told them exactly what my offer was going to be, exactly how much, I was going to do for it. And then he just messaged me directly, somebody that I had as a friend a long time ago. He's seen my case study posts. He's seen my other stuff. He believes in it already. So it was the easiest close ever. I sent him like a voice note, and then he's like, send me payment details, etc. He's ready to go. Still running his ads and crushing it for him today. People always asking to get on a call. I have kind of phased out of just getting on a call with anyone. I make sure that they're qualified now. You can do all that through Go High Level as well. But yeah, I get people that are just messaging me from these posts that are just like, hey, get me a proposal. Let's chat about this. This is my favorite one right here. So I posted in a group. I'm not even sure what I posted exactly, but this guy added me as a friend, and then he messaged me, and then this is his response. Hey, thanks. I saw your post and I saw your banner photo. I'd be interested in 50 to 100 finance applications. And I ended up closing him later that day. And I mean, this guy just saw me in a group, added me as a friend. The cover photo did its trick. The landing page did its trick. And then he messaged me from there. I don't even know if he made it to my landing page, but just like that alone just showed me proof of concept with that, to where I realized like if I truly wanted to scale that system up alone, that'd be fine. And this is all organic. It doesn't cost me anything to do this. So that's been huge. But it's honestly not my favorite method. It works well, it's inexpensive, but I really love paid advertising for agencies. I think it's far more scalable, and also you can control it a lot more, in my opinion, as far as cost per metric and things like that.
And he liked it because he doesn't have to go out there and manually get leads.
Yeah.
Let's be real. I know why you like it. That's why I like it too, because you're not manually having to do outreach and things like that. Even if you automate LinkedIn, you're still doing some manual outreach. But
yeah, exactly.
paid ads is one of the best ways to do it. That's for sure.
And then with the organic too, like if you're like me, man, like I'll post about government conspiracies, I'll post about all sorts of stuff that's not professional. And it's just like it's like then when I'm posting, I'm like thinking of like how people are gonna feel about it and stuff. And that's why that method for me, I'm just like, I don't care too much about it to rely on it.
Suggestion for you.
Yeah.
Were you doing all of this under your personal Facebook account, or did you create a separate account?
I did have my own, yeah.
Okay.
My personal
So create a separate account, do the exact same thing, hire a VA to manage it. Then you don't even have to do anything. Then it's automated again, and you're paying the VA like $6 an hour to do all of that for you.
Done.
And then you get those organic leads and the paid leads, and you're happy.
That's money. And then I just get booked appointments and I don't have to do anything for them.
You get rid of the part that you hate, put that off on someone else, focus on the part you do like.
Boom. So I'll keep you guys updated. I'm going to get that built out ASAP and keep you guys updated on how fast that ends up scaling me up in the automotive business or whatever business I decide to go after at that point. So I want to tell you guys a little bit. I feel like I skipped over a really important detail, and it's how my actual system works. So once I started my agency and I got really good at running ads in different industries, I started to help agency owners to fulfill their clients' ads, because when I first started running ads and trying to close clients, I couldn't figure out how to get a fulfillment center to actually get me good results. I tried a couple things and it didn't work out for me. So I decided to become the fulfillment center. So I don't only have my own clients, but I also have my own white label clients that I offer a wholesale. They can sell my lead generation service white labeled at a wholesale price, and then I fulfill for their clients. So that's how I've gotten to be so good at a lot of different industries and have the opportunity to have these deals just coming in automatically, because the agency owners will pay me to run their ads in a specific niche, and then we'll get them the clients, and then I will fulfill the clients for them. So it's like this kind of looping thing that goes on that only works because I'm good at what I do and I have a service that's packaged up. But that's been how I've closed, like, or I haven't even closed. That's how I've acquired probably 50% of my business, without ever having to take a sales call. These orders just come in and then we just fulfill. And, in the past, I worked with all agency owners and that was a nightmare. Frankly, because some agency owners shouldn't be selling and shouldn't have clients when they first start without knowing a little bit more about what they're doing. So we've revamped that entire process, and I'm basically just taking the experience and the lessons and the systems that I've learned and learning how to make those better for the end client and also the agency owner so that we can scale on that. So if you guys have questions about that process, that's kind of what makes my system so unique and why I don't have to like sell, like basically like I can go jump on and sell a retail client for about double what my wholesale cost is, or I can just fulfill in the back end and the agency does all the client management, sales, stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure that I explained how that system works to help give some clarity on why I'm in so many different industries, but yet I only focus on the automotive at the same time for my own clients. So hope that makes sense. Now we're going to get into our paid. So I'm only using social ads, Instagram, Facebook. I know YouTube is super powerful for this right now. You guys could probably crush with YouTube. YouTube straight to a VSL funnel or just a landing page is the money right now, it seems like, because Facebook's getting a little crazy, as far as banning people and everything else. Google, I'm sure it'd be great. Paid media platforms like TikTok, Snapchat, Reddit, Twitter, LinkedIn. I'm sure they'd be awesome. I've never tried them. I will someday, but so far I haven't even needed to. And then if you guys are just rolling in the big bucks and you want to waste some money, let's go for some traditional advertising. Get some digital ads on the radio, TV, print, flyers, banners. My preferred method right now is social ads. So this is the meat and potatoes that we've all been waiting for, guys. Now I'm going to start to show you the types of ads you can run for your agencies, funnels to use, and some copy hacks. This is going to be where the magic happens. So I pretty much broke it down into 3 different types of ads that you run for your agency. So there's the straight up offer guarantee. And I'm sure you guys have seen this where it's like, get 3 to 5 closings in 90 days or your money back and we pay you $1,000 or whatever. If you guys know Joel Kaplan and his whole deal, they ran some campaigns that were very, very heavy on using that type of copy with that type of specific guarantee. I think it's a little bit used up nowadays, but that is something that I'm sure we've all seen. And if you haven't, just start looking at ads more and Facebook will target you with those kind of ads in your niche for lead gen. So the straight up offer is just going to be straight up what it is. You're going to call them out and then you're going to tell them exactly what it's going to be. You can just tell them about your service, whatever you're going to do for them, or whatever your no risk guarantee is. The lead magnet, the straight up offer, before I move on, I like because when people opt in as a lead, they know they're being sold something. So it's like they're a little bit higher intent already. So I do like to use this. Lead magnet, this is a good way to get cheap, lower quality leads and nurture them through a list or through an SMS sequence after they've opted in, maybe some ringless voicemails in there. With that, if you have like an ebook, guide, free tips, stuff like that, this is going to be an easy way to build a list and get in conversations with potential clients. This is also an easy way for people to tell you to screw off and they never want to talk to you because they just wanted to download your free lead magnet and they don't actually have any intention to work with you. So I'd say this is a nice way if you've got some budget to throw at it, if you've got a super valuable ebook, but then your ebook should just be selling your service, basically. I'll show you some examples of that too. And then we have our free training VSL. This is different than a lead magnet to me because a lead magnet is like, hey, download this ebook, guide, whatever, and you can just do them right on Facebook forums. You don't have to send them to a landing page. A free training VSL is usually going to be a funnel that's got multiple steps inside the funnel. So you've got your opt-in, and it could be an opt-in to a lead magnet, and then you've got your VSL or your video sales letter page that's going to have the pitch on it 24/7, always going. It's your pitch, basically. You're going to sell them on your service. You're going to tell them why, run them through a presentation or a pitch deck. And then under that, that's where you're going to have an application. I like to throw an application in there to get really high quality leads. And then on the back end of the application, you have a call to action for book a call. So I like to offer, if I'm doing a free training, let's just say for agents and investors, let's say instead of this being, a straight up offer, this was a free training to learn how to get 3 to 5 closings. They go to the free training page, they fill out an application, see if they can even work with us. And then on the schedule page, I would tell them, hurry right now when you book your call, and I'd have a timer. We're going to also do a comprehensive 7-point multi-step, fluffing it up here, digital marketing audit. My team, we can only give away 8 of these this week, and we've already done however many, but you have to book your call right now. This is the only time you're going to see this link, and only book this if you're extremely serious. And this is, it can be anything that you want to do to incentivize them to book a call with you. And that's how we get people to go from an opt-in page all the way to a booked call for relatively inexpensive. Memes are the money. So I'm going to show you guys a lot of meme ads. And the reason is I don't only run meme ads. We run a lot of like videos of like the agency owner or like images that show like the offer on it. But obviously I'm not showing you guys like what pages these are coming from because I have to protect my clients. And the memes are the easiest ones to show you guys what the creatives examples look like without giving away who my client is. So these are some we've ran that actually work really well, hinting at how traditional advertising doesn't really work. And, knowing your audience is super important here and knowing what they're paying for as far as advertising and then challenging it or focusing on a key problem that they all have. So here's a couple examples of the different pillars, you could say, that we've got here. So we've got the straight offer. Attention real estate agents, we connect you with qualified buyers, sellers. Click the link below. We'll just do short form leads on Facebook with these, and it works really well to just get conversions or to just get leads, name, email, phone, and then it's all up to the agency owner at that point to call and get them tracked down. Real estate agents are notoriously terrible. That's why I'm actually showing you guys these campaigns, because real estate cold traffic, for some reason, like we'd have a call center on them calling them 6 to 10 times and they are just like bad at following up, or maybe the offer wasn't there. But I've struggled to have real estate agents that will actually show up to calls. And that's just been a thing that we've seen. Other industries have worked a lot better. Higher intent customers right off the bat, but real estate agents, if you're going after it, prepare to get a lot of leads that don't want to talk to you. Yes. Yes. Okay, cool. So that's that free training. I love this. This is usually where you get your video sales letter, and it's kind of cloaked. So you basically tell them, hey, we're going to show you exactly how we do XYZ, And then they're going to see what you're doing. You're going to show them how complicated it is. And they're just going to be like, I don't even want to do this. I don't want to know anything about this. I didn't realize I had to do work to learn this. So how about you just do it for me? And that's when we get booked calls and submit applications through our video sales letter funnel. So I do like step-by-step trainings. You know, that's what this is cloaked to be. It's a training on how we spent $500 to make back over 25K. And these are not fluff numbers. This is really my results that I've got. And so this agency owner is lucky that I've gotten those results, because then he can leverage them. We bring in his clients or prospects for him, and then he closes the deals, brings the fulfillment to me. It's that loop that I was telling you guys about. Works pretty well. Then we have our lead magnet, our low quality leads. This is not my preferred way unless maybe you have a local audience that you're going after, or a very specific lead magnet that has a super good nurture process on the back of it. Like just running a lead magnet and getting a list it's good. It'll work. You'll get a lot of clients, but you'll be banging those phones and people will be responding that, hey, we just wanted the lead magnet. We don't, you can still get business that way. And a lot of my agency owners have, but it's not my favorite. My favorite is the free training cloak method. Show them what it is. They voluntarily watch a video sales letter thinking they're watching a free training, which it is training them how to do it, but it trains them how complicated it is and why they should just hire you. All right, guys, I'm going to give you this. This is another giveaway, paid ad copy script. So you're going to call out your niche title. Hey, agencies, tired of having to rely on referrals, networking events, old slow way of getting new customers or solving their problems. Friends and family, word of mouth, blah, 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 to bring in new lead generation clients or type of client they are looking for into your pipeline. What if there was a way to, whatever you do, so get lead generation clients automated, or get flaming hot leads in your pipeline and automate your entire follow-up process to get your own exclusive leads without whatever they hate, without having to cold call, cold email, log into a CRM, or run any Facebook ads ever again. And then some benefit bullets, no more relying on referrals. This is what we do. This is what we do. This is an extra of what we do. And this is the result that you're going to see. And then a little summary. Our system has helped agencies or lead whatever real estate agents all across the country to have a full pipeline of leads with a completely automated follow-up process, and then throw your call to action in your link. This can also be a good place to add some scarcity. Click below to find out more about our system today. Throw the link to your landing page, or if it's just a Facebook form, that also works as well. Because I'm going to show you how your Facebook lead form can actually be a funnel as well. So here's some funnel examples. These funnels are all crushing it. We've spent thousands of dollars through each one of these, and we're getting really, really good results. Some of these aren't active anymore. Obviously, check my clients. I can only show you the ones that, protect our IP and everything like that. So this one works really well. It's I actually have a template for this, and I've replicated this in several different industries. This one and this one are the same template. And I think I've got this from a program or a template or something. And then I've just ran with it, and I've used it to get personal training clients, to get dealership clients, to get local business clients. And I know it's been used to crush a lot of other industries as well. I've seen the template floating around in some other spaces. I didn't design from the start to finish this, but it's basically just a one page that goes to a book a call. And it's, if you're looking to spend a little bit more and get your higher quality customer, just running them straight to a landing page with a calendar on it, it's nice because you can get an application attached to your calendar where you just get booked calls. And so on average, we're paying less than $50 per booked call right now, across all the industries we're in. And that's super, super competitive. If it creeps up towards 100 and they're not showing up to their meetings or things like that, then we'll usually cut it and bring in an opt-in form so we can capture more leads at the top. But sometimes we can just run these and just get booked appointments, and I mean, there's nothing really better than that. Like a lead is a lead, but a booked appointment, somebody that shows up to a Zoom call, you really can't beat that. And I mean, you can offer that same thing to your clients if you have this system down like I do. So these two are like you're straight to a book a call. What I was telling you guys about your lead form can be a funnel. Like people look over this all the time, but your lead forms, you can have a couple of qualifying questions. So like this is on the back of, if I just go back for a second, right here. So once they click this, it opens up into a little intro that tells them more about the book. And then it says right here, describe your online marketing situation. And they can select an option from the drop down that's going to say, needs work or it's non-existent. We're already crushing it online, building engagement. We're spending money on paid ads and want to learn more, or we don't, whatever, unsure, something like that. So then all they have to do is press buttons. Remember this, people love to press buttons. Give them some buttons to press. They will press them, and that will give you qualifying information that will help you understand who the client is, how qualified they are, and if they're worth calling 7 times. Which, by the way, lead generation statistic from Harvard Law, some report that I found that I'll throw the link in the group at, says that on average, you got to be calling leads 6 times before you even get in touch with them. So this helps you to know which leads are worth calling, 6 to 10 times, where a lot of business owners give up on the first call. Another statistic that I pulled from that Harvard Business Review report was that if you don't call them within the first 5 minutes, your chances of getting in contact with them at minute 6 goes down by like 600%. Like it's drastically throttled, and then after 10 minutes it's like down almost 900%. So your clients or you, if you're getting these leads, need to call them within 5 minutes and need to call them on average of 6 times before giving up on them. Super important to relay to your clients. If you're running lead gen, that was a nightmare I always had in the beginning. These leads are bad, these leads are bad. But really it's just they got to call them right away and follow some scripts. But that's kind of a off topic. So let me get back to this lead form, get some qualifying questions. I like to get the link to their website here, because then if they don't answer the phone call, you can call the business directly and say, hey, we saw you inquired. And if you can get past the gatekeeper and you're kind of smooth there, sometimes you can jog their memory that they saw your ad, they filled it out, stuff like that. Then on the back end of the thanks here, Facebook does a cool thing on lead forms where it allows you to either choose a phone number, a download link, or just a URL that you can put at the end of your lead form that you can send people to after they opt into your whatever your offer is. So it's kind of like having like a 2-step funnel already, because they opt in, they can fill out a short application, and then you can send them straight to a book a call page. That's what we'll do a lot of times, or we'll just have them call in. Like if it's a local home services, we'll incentivize them to call in right now through the lead form. So that's been kind of a hack of how I've used a bunch of lead forms to basically make quick funnels, and it stays right on Facebook too. So it's a little bit easier barrier to entry to enter. Here we have our free training funnel. Like I said, this is like my preferred method right here. This works really great. This is a super simple funnel: picture, benefit bullets, headline promise, big button, pops up into an opt-in form, short application, goes over to the VSL page, then they can book a call. I mean, it doesn't really get much more simple than that. You really just have to change these out to fit your clients, to fit your service, to fit your niche, and this is ready to plug and play. I've seen the simpler to do a lot better than the complicated a lot of times. So that's just something that we're playing with ourselves. Then finally, we have our straight to application. So these are great. Like this one, for example, this is for a free e-commerce audit, like a Shopify store audit. So like if you have a business owner that you want to run ads for, and their e-commerce store, they probably get marketed ads all the time. Here, buy my ads, the best ads in the world, amazing ads. And they see it all the time that they're just going to scroll right past it. So you have to be kind of sneaky with them. And so for this one, we ran a campaign that was like free e-commerce store audit, increase your conversions with the same traffic you already have by implementing these core things. And a lot of Shopify store owners don't have like add to cart sequences, or like, I mean, if you guys are in e-commerce, you would know like there's a lot of other things that you can check. And so you run an audit on their page, and you can do this in other industries too. Like for coaches, you could do a free audit funnel, or a free audit of their funnel. And then you get them to put the link, you get on a call with them, and you go over the audit, and then you tell them what you can provide for them. Super sneaky way to get on calls with prospects that are qualified, and they just don't quite know what you're going to offer them, but you just offer them the value up front of the audit. And then on the back end, you're like, hey, I also can run these ads for you. So those are some working funnels. Like these have all produced clients for agencies. This one's produced clients for myself, and it's worked really well overall. So now we're going to get into some results. You guys might have to soak these in, because these are across like 8 different accounts. And we have, so with this one, this was one of the real estate ones we had. And this guy was actually able to close 4 real estate agents down, which I salute him. I think he used a call center to be able to get them out of, like almost 200 leads that we sent over, so pretty low conversions on the strategy call, but still amazing results, like, being able to close clients and land strategy calls. This is one of ours that we've gotten 169 leads for. I believe this is car dealership funnel right here, and he's closed a very small percent, but he's still made, close to 10K. And that's just what's tracked. They don't always track everything through here. This is another guy who was able to close, or we got him 112 leads, and he's been able to close, about $4,000 worth of them. And that's just what's tracked here, and you can see down here, like this guy, I think this is the same guy here, has gotten 57 strategy calls with actual owners of dealerships and close them down. So pretty cool. These are some of the results here in the ads manager. So we're paying $12.76 per submit application, and that ended up being 32 appointments scheduled. These results were amazing, unbelievable, and super awesome. I think if the closing ratio, if the sales was a little bit better tapped in, the guy would have closed a lot more of those. And so that's just goes back to being good at what you do, having your service down. We'll get into that a little bit more. So yeah, and then we've got, like $4 submit applications. Guys, we're talking about spending $5 to actually like have a qualified client's information on your business, and so once you get this down, you can just rinse and repeat. This is one of our ad agency guys that was able to close 2 clients from our system. And so now I don't even run these systems for myself, because I don't want to be on sales calls all day. I just fulfill for the agency owner. It works really well. Here's some more good results. This is a super high converting. This is one of our newest ones. Out of about 40 leads that we've sent over, 17 of them have booked strategy calls, and these are all self-booked. So those have been super awesome results. Low cost per leads pretty much across the board. This is a straight to a website schedule. This is one of those funnels that I showed you guys. Yeah, these are just some results across the board. Here's a message that we got the other day. Got my first purchase from scheduled clients, 2 more appointments tomorrow. Like this is just the day to day. And once you get these things up and running and you pump a little capital into it, it's a no brainer to keep it running and rocking. So I'm going to keep on jamming on this. If you guys have any questions with this paid strategy as a whole, go ahead and fire them away. If not, I'll keep going into this. All right. Okay, heck yeah. All right, so we got phase 1, get good at what you do. Phase 2, launch organic. Phase 3, launch paid. And phase 4, nurture and close. Now, this is a double-sided, double-edged sword, you could call it, because we're nurturing and closing our own clients, and we're helping our clients nurture and close the prospects that we're generating for them. So, when it comes to the organic posts or just like the acquisition strategy as a whole, you're going to post value, whether that's a valuable ad or whether that's a valuable post on your behalf or your client's behalf. The prospect's going to engage with that. Once they engage, they're going to opt in basically by commenting or messaging or literally opting in on a funnel or a lead, anything like that. And then you're just going to get them scheduled. This is a scheduled call is super, super valuable to you and to your business owner clients that you have. And then once they're on the scheduled call, you close them. I'm not a sales guru. I am not super I'm pretty transparent with my selling strategy. I just tell people what we got, what it costs, ask them if they want to move forward, ask for the business, and close them down. That's about it for me. But if you're really, really good at closing, then this is a no brainer that you can automate a lot of this to get a bunch of scheduled calls, fill your calendar up, and just keep rocking with that and really scale your agency that way. Now, once you start getting a flow of leads in, you're going to have to do some automated nurturing process, both for yourself and for your clients, especially if you're running lead generation. So it's tracked and also so it's organized. So lead generation requires nurturing. In my opinion, sending a client a CSV file with a bunch of leads is dead, 100% dead. I don't believe in it. I think that it's a low service, and I think that you can add on so much value by offering nurturing. So what we do for our clients is we run these lead gen campaigns, and then once somebody fills out a lead form or fills out an opt-in form, we put them into our high-level CRM, and then that triggers a campaign to start out to send them a welcome text, a welcome email that's encouraging them to either A, give us a positive response, a time to call them, or saying yes, they're still interested, or B, to actually get them to self book an appointment through the backend system. So now we're working with multiple touch points on the same prospect before they even get on the call with us or our client. And I'm not going to do a big demo on go high level stuff because Jordan's got that on lock. If you guys weren't already sold on it before, if you're doing any kind of lead gen, you will want to get on it for sure. All right, fulfillment, where to start with fulfillment. This is not phase 5. This is really phase 0. You got to have your fulfillment figured out. Whether it's you doing it, and that's what I've learned how to do is become my own in-house fulfillment center, or whether it's your client, or whether you find a fulfillment center to do your fulfillment, you got to have it dialed in, 100% dialed in, 100% effective, and it's got to be proven, it's got to be working, because too many agency owners, like I already said, they're like selling a client, trying to sell a client, trying to sell a client, and they don't have their fulfillment in place, and it's a disaster, and it puts a bad taste in the client's mouth, and it devalues the industry as a whole. So get your fulfillment down, whether it's building an in-house system or process or finding a fulfillment center to handle it for you that you can trust. So one thing that I think helps fulfillment a lot is by standardizing your service and your offer. So not doing custom packages for every single client, because that's a way to have a huge nightmare when they all want specific things. You want email marketing, blog posts over here, some crazy thing, and then you have like a website build over here. Then I don't think that that's the way to do it. I think it's best to be a specialist at just lead generation for automotive or for agencies or for whatever, or just social media content for coaches, or just SEO for local businesses. Like, it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't matter. Like, there's so much opportunity, there's so many different services, and they all work. Like, when you weigh out like PPC versus like social ads, like they both have their pros and cons. And I'd say, like, across the board, all of these different services, they're not even in terms of their value or effectiveness, but they are all like in a similar range or a wave that's like, they're not super far off. So it doesn't matter if you get your start by being a super good sales copywriter and somehow figure out a niche to offer that in. You know, you don't have to do the traditional general agency thing. Like I think general agencies where you go to a landing page and they've got like a bunch of boxes and it's like SEO, web design, this, lead gen, this, social ad, da da da. I think that that's kind of dying out. I think people are paying more for specific systems and specific offers, and by running those, it's highly replicatable within your business to be able to fulfill at ease. So if you have 100 clients for in automotive that are all getting the same type of lead, the same type of service, then that's why it's easy to run it with just one VA or one really trained an employee. I have an operations manager that handles 80%, 80 to 90% of all my fulfillment by just following my standard operating procedures and then copying, pasting our ad strategy from client to client to client. And then when it doesn't reach the KPI that we're going after, that's when I actually go in and tweak the campaign, try to add some creative elements and maybe change things there. So we go, I mean, so we've standardized it to the point where we can just fulfill and fulfill and fulfill. And we're breaking into multiple industries doing the same system. So a couple elements to make your fulfillment smooth every time: get your SOPs in line. If you are the technician, if you are the specialist, if you are the dude doing it, then just write out step by step what you do, create Loom videos, create templates, create frameworks, and put them all into your SOPs. You can use Asana, Monday, ClickUp, or any other project management site, and you could even use Excel. This allows you the power to build it hands-on and then pass it off to a VA or an operations manager, media buyer, or whatever in the future, easily and effectively. Your onboarding process, this is so important. So we've got our streamlined, seamless onboarding process now, but we didn't always. So now we've got it to where client pays through our automated proposal system, and then they go into our automated onboarding portal. They can give us access to their Facebook, fill out the form, sign the contract, and then get logged into the CRM, all through just an automated system, videos recorded on a landing page, and they just click and go through everything. And then it notifies me when they're through all of that, and it sends them a link to book a strategy call. That's when they book a strategy call with me. And then I know they're already onboarded, so my team can begin building out ad drafts and stuff like that. And then I go in and personally meet with them, or Zoom or whatever. And I work with the client to develop anything that's like an outlier about their business. So the cool thing about working with clients in multiple niches is that they, or I mean, the same niche is that they'll all have a little different take on it. And so you can get like everything that you get from those clients, you pull into your system. So you're basically like feeding the beast. Like they come in and they're like, oh, here's an offer that we want to run for this. And you're like, oh, we've never even ran an offer like that for this industry. Now you have a new offer in your back pocket that you can use for different business locations all over the country or all over the world. And so really, I always leverage a strategy call with my clients, even if I don't really implement a lot of the things that we talk about, because we have better defined strategies. Like, you know, because most of the time they trust you and they just want results. So it's kind of just like an idea session. And then I get any assets that they may have, such as creatives, previous offers, um, lists, things like that. And then hyper split testing. So make sure you have a good ad process, like how, not just how to launch the ads, but how to monitor them constantly, how to, you know, help something when it's not doing so well, how to scale, everything like that. Like, so what we have is a hyper split testing method that utilizes Facebook AI to its maximum. It's basically just using dynamic creative and then reading the results. And we have like a testing period, an optimization period, scaling period. It's pretty boring, kind of nerdy analytical stuff, but it's really helped us to be able to pump out a lot of ads in a super efficient way and then scale those up for our clients and figure out what works the best. And then we can begin testing audiences and cutting our cost per lead down over the course of, you know, 2 to 3 weeks, all the way to like 3 months to have a fully optimized and scaled campaign. So I'm starting to get to my recap here. Step one, be good at what you do and then set up your organic. Step two, fuel the fire with your paid ads. Step 3, nurture, close, and fulfill. And then step 4 would be rinse and repeat. Keep it going. Automate and refine. Stage 5, you can do things to improve your messaging, widen your reach. You can automate so much of these processes, these prospecting methods, ads. A lot of this can be automated. Your fulfillment. You can test and analyze your insights. And then finally, I mean, it should be probably grow your team right here and then launch new products and services. Once your agency is automated, scaled, systemized, and where it needs to be, then you get to step back out of the role of the technician and you get to be the CEO. So you get to launch new products, offers, services to your demographic and just start really scaling in a totally different way, building your brand and creating this monster of a business that you dream to create. Recap, be good at what you do, launch organic, launch paid, nurture and close, fulfill, and then automate, refine, and scale. I mean, that's really the system. Whatever your service is, whatever your offering is, that's where you're going to be most beneficial when you can have these things all in order.
Dude, you killed it.
Whew.
Hey, welcome to my fucking world. It's a lot more than you think. You did a great job, though. Honestly, that was a really great presentation. Covered a whole lot of information. So seriously, really good job, Nate, on the coaching session. Kashif is giving you some claps right now. I'm sure everybody else enjoyed it. What were you guys' thoughts? Did you guys appreciate that? Did you learn something? Did you take something away that you're going to be able to implement in your own agency? That was thorough AF. I was dying when you were talking about the audit, the comprehensive 7-point deep dive long haul front to back top to bottom audit. I was like, well, I added in some of that, but still it was really funny.
Growth
overload. Good thing is, guys, we recorded it. So, oh wait, no, the recording didn't work. No, I'm kidding. It's recording. So you guys have the recording for later so you can watch it again. Dope, Nate. Thank you for sharing. I remember being on calls with you back in the day. It's awesome to see your growth. So guys, and here's the thing. It's totally possible for you guys too. You guys can all do this exact same thing. It's about implementing the system, trying different things, focusing on specific services, a specific niche, and really owning your craft. Like you said, getting really good at what you do. And whether that means in the beginning, practicing for free if you have to, or for friends or whatever, so you can start to get some experience and understand the different services and platforms you're going to use. That's just what it takes. To be quite honest with you, before I ever started my agency, I was doing a lot of this for free because I was doing it for myself and I was running my own companies. And then I had some other people have some interest and I started doing it for them for free because really back then in like 2008, social media marketing still wasn't even really, I think the first social media marketing agency, I read a statistic, I'm pretty sure the first social media marketing agency was started in 2008. And so like back then it was nothing, but I was doing it for free, but it gave me the experience that I needed to learn even more about the products and then take that knowledge on later to where I'm at today. And the recording will be up tomorrow, guys. So all you have to do is make sure you log into the MAP mentorship program and, you guys will be able to get the recording there. Cool thing is while Nate was doing that, I was closing a deal with the roofing contractor. So that was pretty dope. Nate's teaching and I'm talking to a guy about a $30,000 deal. So it was really good, really good use of time for me today. I got a MAP mentorship done and a new client. So really happy with today's session. So any last questions that you guys have for Nate before he gets out of here? Because we're already at an hour and a half today. So you guys got a bonus. Dude, tell me about it. Those longer trainings or something, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm about to watch this over anyway. I'm off tomorrow, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So all I'm going to be doing is go high level. I'm going to look at this over and try and get some stuff started.
That's the thing. Guys, take what Nate showed you and take what I've taught you. Yep. And don't try and reinvent the wheel. Just take what we know works and implement it in your own business. What I love is that I'm sure, okay, so just like every other entrepreneur, Nate had some issues and some times where it wasn't going his way. That's the biggest thing that most people, they let prevent them from moving forward and from doing something great on their own. Don't worry about the struggles. Don't worry about, for you specifically, Andreas, don't worry about the perfectionism of it. Like, don't try to perfect every single thing. That's not, entrepreneurs who try to perfect everything usually are the ones who are the latest to the game. And the reason why is because they're sitting there trying to perfect systems. Get a system in place, but only get it to where it's functional. Really, that's what you're trying to do. Because you're still, even though you think it's perfect, it's not perfect. Once you run that system one time, you're going to notice all of the holes and flaws that are in it. So don't worry about perfecting everything. Don't worry about failure or potential bad dealings or whatever it may be that's preventing you from getting started and really just doing everything you need to do to get this agency to where you need it to be. And also keep in mind the last little thing that I'll mention, what Nate said several times, it's what I always teach. Set up your SOPs first. Know what you're doing there first. Build your team up a little bit first, and then go get clients. Don't go getting clients to come back and say, okay, now I've got to build all this other shit that I have no idea how to even do. And it's going to take me 3 weeks to build. And now my client's almost a month into the campaign and we have nothing ready for them. Mm-hmm. Don't do, I'm telling you guys, it is a real thing and it is a real issue that a lot of agency owners have. So just, I remember literally having this conversation with Nathan, like when he was, or with Nate, when he was first in the mentorship group, he kept asking me questions. He's like, I've got these couple of people that want me to do this. What do you think I should do? And we kept having the conversation. I think we had it like 2 or 3 weeks in a row. And I was like, where are your SOPs? He's like, I still haven't done them yet. I was like, do those and then you can take them on. After the 3rd week, he finally went and started working on it. I didn't see him for like a month or 2. And then he came back and he had a bunch of clients and he had his SOPs up and running and he had his business operational. It's literally as simple as that. And like he said, don't overcomplicate things. Keep it very basic. You guys know what you're doing. You've done it long enough now. Just dumb it down, make it super simple for not only your business, but for your clients or potential clients. And everything gets a lot easier when you're trying to run that agency. Let me see.
I dropped that paid ad copy template framework for you guys in the chat. And then also that document of that spreadsheet so you can keep track of your organic posts.
And Thomas, all you have to do is go to serialentrepreneur.academy, my website. At the very top, it'll say login. That's where you log in. Click that button for login and then put in your information. One of my first clients is an auto dealer, getting them a good amount of leads and sales. Good shit, Ben. Maybe I'll have you on here to talk about your success one day. I love doing these student spotlights and showing people that it is 100% possible. It's just about your will to reach your goals. Do you have the will and desire to do that or not? Skylar says he's next. So let's see. All right, guys, I'm going to let y'all get out of here. Nate, thank you very much again for hopping on and doing this call. I'm sure these guys all loved it. Continue on doing what you're doing. I hope that you do hit 250K in sales this year. Totally believe that you can. Outside of that, guys, the only thing I would say before we get off of here, if you ever get a chance, get on Facebook, reach out to Nate and have him talk to you a little bit about the Go High Level SaaS service. Because that's an easy 300 a month that he kind of showed me a little bit about with Go High Level Pro Tools and stuff like that. Just have a quick conversation with him about it. Maybe it'll fit into your model. Maybe you can add it in as a low ticket product that you can sell. But yeah, Facebook, Nate Tilley, I got white label SAS and agency Snapchat. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully I will see you guys on Thursday for a YouTube live at 7:30 p.m. EST. Also on Friday at 6 p.m. EST, I'm going to be going live on Clubhouse. So if you guys have Clubhouse, make sure to check out my Clubhouse talk. We've had a lot of really cool talks with a lot of really cool influencers. We had a talk the other night with me, Ruan Marino, Chase Reiner, Nathan Gosh, what's Mark's last name? I can't remember Mark's last name. He's an ads manager. A lot of really high level, super intelligent marketers all in one talk. I learned so much that night. So if you guys have Clubhouse, I know you guys don't all have Clubhouse and I know you guys all don't have access. I can't help you there, but if you can get access to it and you can get in, please do. It will be eventually available for everyone. It's just currently not yet. They need more funding, honestly, is what it is. Kashif, I did hit you up. I pinged you last night. You didn't join, bruh. All right, I'm going to get out of here, guys. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to y'all on the next call. All right?
Later.
You guys, thanks so much. Thanks, Jordan.
Yep.
Thanks, Nate.